Hello, my name is Sebastian Vasquez, and I'm applying for the CIE Latin America scholarship for this fall. So, 2 years ago, actually, two Christmases ago, was the first time in 14 years that I went to Venezuela, the country where both of my parents were from. I had memories about it from a kid. I was baptized there, went many times, but it had been so long that I essentially had no idea what the country was like. And a few years ago, there was this kind of like urge calling in me that I needed to get to understand the country more, meet my family, understand the history, and that's what I sought out to do. Convincing my parents, planning it logistically, getting visas, all in itself was so difficult. But it was one of the most meaningful experiences of my life. I took classes at the university where my parents fell in love. I lived with my grandma, my aunt, and my cousin, and I met a huge chunk of my family that I was meeting for the first time in 14 years. And that whole voyage, I went there for Christmas and then I decided to stay there for 3 months afterwards. It sparked my interest in Latin America and learning more about the region. And so then when I came back to Stanford, I just felt like I kind of like got involved a little bit in like Latin American studies. I work as like a student assistant in the Center for Latin American Studies. I took a class last quarter about the diplomatic history between the US and Latin America. And I'm also doing this research project about US China ideological competition in Latin America. And I've also tried and done more traveling, learning more about the region actually firsthand. I went to Mexico, where I went to Mexico City and Oaxaca, where I went to caves where maize was first domesticated, in Zapotec ruins and museums in Mexico City. And this past summer, I also went to Central America, where I saw sloths and biodiversity in Costa Rica, volcanoes in El Salvador, and like Mayan ruins in Guatemala. And so I really, really want to do this program because I want to learn more about the region and go to these other countries and other places that I haven't been to. I haven't gone to any other country in South America other than Venezuela. And obviously the Southern Cone, Argentina and Chile, it's like a big part of that. So I also want to learn more about like the history, politics, economics. I'm studying economics and history, and I think Latin America itself is just such a culturally interesting region. It's kind of at the crossroads between European, Spanish, African, and like indigenous cultures. Each country is just so different. And I eventually want to work in like diplomacy, international development, about the region. And I think learning about the culture there is like one of the best things that I can do. Why I'd be a great content creator for CIEE. You'll check my Instagram, my social media. I've documented a lot of my travels to Venezuela, Central America, Mexico, all on Instagram. So I would be great at photography, vlogging on social media, and just spreading this experience that I have here, especially at Stanford, and to other students. I'm also bilingual. I speak Spanish fluently, and that's another huge pro. So yeah, I kind of wanted to end this video with some memorabilia from Venezuela. Here is this little cup that just says Venezuela. It's meant for like drinking coffee. And this that my aunt gave to me. It's a picture of El Ávila, which is like the mountain that separates Caracas from the Caribbean. Thank you.